I think we'd be curious to know a little more about what caused this exceptionally participatory process in the general plan adoption. It'd be easy to look at Bentonville and imagine that because you're dominated by one large company, that there'd be a bunch of corporate executives behind a closed door making all the civic decisions for everybody else, or hiring experts to tell you what to do. So, was there a legal requirement to be this participatory, or what else explains that?
I'm Shelley Rushing. I'm with the City Planning Department and was very involved in the development of the general plan. There is a state requirement that we have a general plan in order to adopt our zoning ordinance. That is a requirement, but it was not necessarily time for us to review our plan. But our development was happening so quickly that we knew that the last plan that we had, which was done in 2000, just had pretty much been outdated with all of the growth that we had. And so what we wanted to do is make sure that we had a good representation from the community, and we had a steering committee of about 17 members, and we tried to include not only people from the Convention and Visitors Bureau like Kayleen, the Chamber of Commerce, Tammy's with the Chamber of Commerce. We had people from the school system, as well as representatives from health. We wanted to make sure we were kind of making it very comprehensive. And I think one of the other reasons why we had so much participation is that these organizations between the city, the Chamber of Commerce, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, as well as Downtown Bentonville Inc., work together consistently, so it made sense for us to work together on this project as well.
And to address the big company proposal, we've got about a 21-person delegation here. I am the only person who is a Walmart associate. Walmart may be the largest corporation in the world, but it does not dominate Bentonville. Bentonville dominates that. The citizens and grassroots enthusiasm of Bentonville is really what has given lifeblood to Walmart. Walmart owes much of its success to people of Bentonville and the way that they have loved us and gathered us in and helped us grow as a company. So it really is, Bentonville is our spirit.
Thank you.
This is wonderful because I grew up not too far away from Bentonville. My question is that there are a lot of little small communities around Bentonville, and how does the growth in Bentonville and what you do impact the regional issues that come up in that part of Arkansas?
Hi, I'm Tammy Thoreau from the Bentonville Bella Vista Chamber of Commerce, and that's exactly what we do. One thing about our chamber president, who is not with us today, but he is all about keeping everything regional. Northwest Arkansas, that's what it's all about. We like to embrace the other smaller communities to join in and be a part of the bigger communities. And like I said, we're Bentonville, Bella Vista, so we bring in Bella Vista, the next community to Bentonville, to be a part of our chambers, as well as helping other communities develop their own Chamber of Commerces.
Okay. And I'm Bob McCaslin, the mayor of Bentonville. Might I just add that we recognize the fact that whatever we don't do, or whatever we do, impacts others, not just ourselves. So we've been on a very strong program of creating partnerships, collaborations, and we do a lot of that, regardless of the city size. We have a regional wastewater treatment initiative, which is paramount for our future growth. Without wastewater treatment, growth stops. We're also found that we can, you might say, get a bigger bang for our buck, extend our resources by partnering often with neighboring cities. That's the case that we're doing today. We're doing a major road project that we're sharing 50-50 with our neighboring city. We wouldn't be able to do it alone, nor would they. So we recognize that everything we do has an impact on our neighbors, whether it's positive or negative.
May I also add, we also have the Northwest Arkansas Council, which is made up of all the different chamber presidents in the area, as well as city officials from different areas.
Thank you. I believe Christine has a question.
Bentonville, thank you very much. You have literally told a phenomenal story, which makes my question about the library. Actually, in your application, you talk about a teen advisory board. Can you talk about
excited about our library usage. It really is one of those projects where if you build it, they will come. The teens, we really are focusing on involvement with our community, and many of the initiatives we've prepared and presented to the public are based on things that people say they want. So we are always trying to be reactive and proactive to community needs. Our teens, we have about over 100 teen volunteers, and that's where we find that they really want to give back to their community. And we could not provide the services we do without those teen volunteers. We are looking at really strengthening that teen advisory board this next year and doing some leadership training with those teenagers. So really, again, they're giving us something, but we want them to get something more too. Thank you.
I have a question for the mayor, or maybe having been a former mayor, infrastructure, sewer, repairs, streets are not the most glamorous thing that you offer to your community to do, although it's absolutely vital and necessary. How did you get them to buy into those unglamorous things that you have to do to keep your community vital?
Well, that's a great question. Having been a resident there, not a native born, for about 15 years, I had experienced the phenomenal growth that Bentonville and the area was experiencing. And serving on council for 2 terms prior to coming in as mayor, I recognized what you might say the most pressing needs were. And it was no secret in the community that the things that needed to be fixed were in the rank order of streets, parks, strengthen our police and fire, also work with our municipal airport. So what we had initially in 2003 was a 1-cent sales tax just for capital. And we were on a pay-as-you-go basis, but we very quickly figured out that at $4 to $6 million per mile for streets, we couldn't fix very many streets on a pay-per-go basis. So we proposed to the public, and we used this cute little saying, we want to start where we are, use what we have, and do all we can. So what we did, we went to the voters and said, hey, we already have the mechanism to make this happen. We need your approval to use this 1 cent to service bond debt, rather pay as you go. And I would tell you that the referendums, there were 5, we have to vote in Arkansas on each referendum separately, passed on an average of approximately 80% yes. So overwhelming support. And so orange barrels are a little bit glamorous.
Absolutely.
But I will tell you there's a great deal of community appreciation in seeing the fact that their vote of August 2007 is now manifesting itself in new parks, improving police and fire, working on the airport, and yes, having orange barrels all about town for road improvements.
Thank you.
I love the book. And then, of course, it's all about libraries. Wonderful theme. I have 2 quick questions. One is that I saw you were involved with Kids Vote USA, which I was delighted about, and I wondered whether you have any evidence that it in fact increased voting rates in your community. It may not, but...
I am the children's librarian, Sue Ann Peckel, and we were very pleased to promote civic engagement through the Kids Vote program. We don't have empirical evidence that this action brought parents to the voting booth, but we hope that it did, and we feel that through the display, through the press releases that we put out about this, and through exciting children about being involved in civic engagement, that this made an impact on their parents. We really were not able to do statistics of if you voted as a child, did your parent vote? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bentonville. Obviously, you have engaged yourself in a community that are engaged in each other. It's wonderful. Your young people and all the different projects that you have going. Bad boys, it's good to have you with us. I don't think I ever call my police officers bad boys. I thank you for all that you have brought to us, and I may not know all the places you have been, but I certainly know where you're going, and you are going in the right direction with a wonderful example of what community spirit is about in our country. So I thank you, each and every one of you children, and everybody that came today to tell us about Bentonville,